Life in Tudor England, 1485 to 1603, was deeply shaped by social class and geography, revealing stark contrasts between privilege and hardship. Here's a look into how people lived, learned, ate, and coped during this dynamic era. Homes and living conditions. Wealthy nobles and the affluent lived in grand homes. Think oak furniture, four-poster beds with curtains, oak-paneled walls, and rich tapestries for warmth and privacy. But step outside the grand halls, and it was a different story. Those in the middle class often lived in half-timber-bird dwellings inlaid with wattle and daub. Thatched roofs were common, though urban homes used tiles due to the risk of fire. Poorer folks shared cramped single-room cottages with earthen floors and basic wooden furniture. Families slept on straw-stuffed mattresses over rope frames. Sanitation and hazards. Sanitation was a luxury most homes lacked. Toilets were a rarity, and people used chamber pots or emptying them was a dreaded task handled by gong farmers, a job that paid little and often led to injury or death. Sewage mixed freely with drinking water in towns, separated only by open sewers. This led to disease and frequent epidemics. Life was perilous. Drawing water was a daily chore fraught with danger. Accidental drowning was a leading cause of death, as were working accidents and the hazards of cramped living. Food and dining. Daily diet depended on your place in society. The poor ate coarse rye or barley bread, simple pottage, a type of vegetable soup, and saved meat for special occasions. Ale, though not safe, was more reliable than water and was drunk by people of all ages. The rich enjoyed multiple meats like swan, deer, and boar, plus spiced dishes, gilded pies, and elaborate feasts. They sourced ingredients like sugar, spices, and citrus from far-off lands. Feasts could last days and included multiple courses. One noted dish was blackbird pie, a savory concoction with live birds baked inside. When opened, the birds would burst forth singing, which inspired the nursery rhyme "Sing a Song of Sixpence." Beverages flowed freely in Tudor England. While ale was universally consumed, wine was a luxury reserved for the wealthy. Water, considered unsafe due to contamination, was distrusted. Work and social stratification. Towns bustled with tradespeople, bakers, tailors, blacksmiths, and fishmongers. Their presence is hinted at in street names like Pudding Lane. But life was tough for many. Up to a third of people lived in poverty. Beggars were often punished rather than helped, facing penalties like stocks, whipping, or parish return, where they were forced to work for their keep. Late Tudor Poor Laws 1597-1601 shifted the focus to local parishes, tasking them with collecting taxes to support the needy. However, the emphasis remained on punishing the able-bodied poor rather than offering aid. Education and childhood. Formal education was limited to the wealthy. Boys attended petty schools and then grammar schools, where they studied Latin and writing. They used feather quills and faced strict discipline. Some were sent to Oxford or Cambridge, but this was rare. Girls generally stayed home to learn from their mothers. Their education focused on household tasks and skills valued in marriage. Poorer children often started training as apprentices young or helped out in fields. Playtime included hoops, marbles, top spinning, and games like tag or football, using pig bladders. Cleanliness, smells, and sensory life. Contrary to popular belief, the elite valued cleanliness. They washed their linen frequently, used perfumed pomanders, and scented water before meals. Public baths were rare, so poorer folk risked bathing in rivers, a potentially dangerous endeavor. Crowded towns were dimly lit and perpetually grimy. To combat the stench, people sometimes sprinkled herbs on floors or hung them on walls. Life in Tudor England was a brutal physical experience. Violent punishment, gruesome executions, and constant sensory exposure shaped everyday life. Social life, entertainment, and community markets and fairs were integral to community life. Weekly markets offered goods from livestock to cloth, while fairs, often held annually, combined trade with entertainment like jugglers and fire-eaters. Festivals like May Day saw communities dancing around maypoles, playing local sports, or engaging in food pranks, like the one that inspired Sing a Song of Sixpence. Religion also played a part, with seasonal observances shaping the social calendar. Court life was a world apart. Musicians and poets wove music and verse into the fabric of royal life. Feasting and celebration marked royal visits and special occasions. Hosting the monarch was both an honor and a heavy burden. Life in Tudor England was a tapestry woven with threads of opulence and poverty, innovation and hardship, all set against a backdrop of profound social change. It was a time when foundations were laid for what was to come, making it a pivotal era in English history.